an old version of this. Like, it's okay. It's okay to encounter technical difficulties and to say to the audience, "Hello, we're encountering technical difficulties."
Hello, we're encountering technical difficulties. And no, it doesn't have to do with the fact we now have a chat box. No. Hi, welcome to GameHounds podcast, or at least the pre-show, which already should be into the show because um I, the chat
That's right. I
box
should put
was
banners in.
right. Oh yeah, I don't even have anything because I was dealing with this mocha choca bullshit. So this thing here, uh kind of no problem, easy to solve. The problem was is that when I went back to my other computer, which I it's the one that has the good mic and the good headset and everything. Um my soundboard died. I mean, it didn't just die. It's like it's dying in a very very interesting way. I really wish that I could record it for you because it's making sounds that sound like intermittent buzzing, but in a very rapid, like in a very regular pace. And then, like somebody walking into a room full of big tin boxes and just kicking them across the room constantly. So it's like, zzz, bzzz, bzzz. It's just insane. It literally sounds like somebody's throwing a temper tantrum in a tin can factory. Hey, Easy Wraith. So Twitch chat only makes me look less spammy. Yeah, it's just Twitch chat on this just chat box. So if you want to say anything on that chat box, you got to do it Twitch chat. Now we can see, Nick and I can see your comments if you're commenting on YouTube. But it won't show up on the screen. We will absolutely, like if AC Ray says something on YouTube, we'll put it down here. If we want to pull something out here, then we can. But if you want to actually show up on the screen, it's got to be Twitch chat. So, how are things?
Good.
No, I'm not digging this. It's not exactly even. I'm sorry, I'm futzing. I know I'm futzing. It's a thing I do. I can't help but
Okay,
futz.
stop futzing. Okay, did you play the game?
What game?
The La La Land? Murder in La La Land?
No, of course not. I was busy.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it later. So Nick gave me Murder in La La Land. This is that live game that
Yeah, from the Mysterious Package Company.
from the Mysterious Package Company that is a mystery, and inside is all of the clues to the mystery. And I don't want to open it. Well, I do because I can start to open it. Opening it's
Yeah,
not
you can.
gonna no
No,
spoilers here, right?
no.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you've got like the book, which is I'm assuming what you follow,
Yep, that's
and you've
kind of
got
what
oh
starts it all.
wow, you've got like newspaper articles and
There should be a map of a carnival, a directory of businesses in the area.
yeah, there's like a carnival, looks like a playbill or poster. There's like letters. Nope, don't fall. Bags of evidence that you
Mm-hmm.
should open only at certain times. Only when instructed. Ooh, we've got a pen and paper for you're a
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles detective with your Los Angeles detective
Oh, no.
pencil.
You're not a Los Angeles detective. You're a global agency detective, which supersedes the
Oh,
LAPD.
wow. Oh, there we go. Yep. Global agency notepad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I want to get with some friends of mine down the street and see if they want to, if they're remotely interested in having a dinner party where we figure this out. How long does it take to figure out?
It took us a couple hours. Like
Okay.
it's not short, but it's not long. I'd say like
Okay.
2 to 3 hours.
All right. So I'll see if I can make an appointment with Philip and Cecil, and we can play this. So I'm looking forward to it, but I didn't want to. I couldn't do it last night. I had just way too much to do. Besides, I didn't get home until like 7.
Yeah.
So when I
Rachel told
say,
me
so you
that.
know that Nick and I had lunch yesterday at his place because I had to go get travelers vaccines.
But then you ended up not getting the vaccines.
And so just so you know, I'm going to Bali in October, and you absolutely need a bunch of vaccines like typhoid and yellow fever and Japanese encephalitis and polio and a bunch of other stuff. So um, if you were to buy these vaccines, just walk in and buy them out of pocket, it's something like $4,000. A lot of them are covered by health insurance. My health insurance covers what they call, was it regular, uh, uh, like regular maintenance or something like that, where it's like the flu shot. They're not going to charge you for the flu shot, but you should have a flu shot before you leave. If you bought a flu shot, it cost you like $25. If you don't, if your insurance covers it, then that's good. So a lot of these, except for like the really like typhoid and Japanese encephalitis, a lot of these are covered. About $2,500 worth are covered by my healthcare insurance. So I called up my hospital, the system that I use, that I have my primary care physician, and said, hey, I called up my insurance, made sure exactly what they cover, like going through the actual medical codes to see what they covered and how much. So I knew exactly what they would cover. I called up my the hospital system that I used and say, did you have a traveler's vaccine clinic? Because most most hospitals, even your Department of Public Health, wherever you are, has a traveler's vaccine clinic. So I called them up and they said, like, no, we don't have one. We recommend you go to Passport. Passport Health is the name of it in the Bay Area. So I made an appointment for Passport Health. I saw that they had an appointment on a Saturday over by Nick. And it was like, hey, Nick, you want to have lunch tomorrow? Because I'm going to go get a bunch of vaccines. And he's like, cool. Yeah. So we made an appointment. I set the appointment for after seeing Nick. And then I went in there and I had this whole like sit down and consultation of exactly what I needed. I knew exactly what I needed. And then she said, okay, here's the bill. And I said, well, don't you submit to my healthcare insurance? And she's like, no, you have to do that. And I thought, well, I don't know if the healthcare insurance covers it coming from you or anybody. And I want to get confirmation from my insurance company that you're doing this, because they're charging like 4 or 5 times more than what the county health department is charging. So if I'm going to pay for it, I want to go somewhere cheaper. If I'm not going to pay for it, I want to make sure that I go somewhere that I don't have to pay for it. So I didn't have the vaccines. But I got a rundown of what exactly vaccines I need, including rabies. I need to get a rabies vaccine. All these other fun things. Thank you for the link to Bali. Oh yeah, postmortem. Don't. Why does it sound like Wiley Coyote is making a computer? What do you mean? Is it like the way my I was imitating the sounds that my soundboard is making right now because it's making some horrible sounds. It's dying. It's been dying for a long time, but it's well and truly in its final death throes. So yeah, I didn't get all those vaccines because I would have had to pay $2,800, and that's not all of them. I wasn't going to do that if I didn't know I was going to get that $2,800 back. But tomorrow, Nick and I are seeing each other again.
Yeah.
Gonna go to a baseball game. I'm gonna finally meet Nick's mom and dad, I'm assuming.
I thought you've met them before.
No, when would I have ever met your mom?
I don't know. Like if I was moving at some point or something?
No,
Hmm.
I've never helped you move. Ask me if I ever would.
Would you?
Maybe. You'd have to have everything in boxes before I showed up. How about that?
Okay.
I'll never do that again.
That is like
I will never do that again.
how does someone go through life and it's like, yeah, I'm moving tomorrow. Well, I'm moving today. Nothing is in boxes.
Yeah.
Nothing is like how do you how do you just not put two and two together that like, yo, boxing up stuff takes a while.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this person that I was helping, this is the entire like history of him moving. He got out of high school and went to the army.
Okay.
Got out of the army and had a duffel bag. Lived in an apartment in San Francisco and dated a woman.
Okay.
When they decided to move in together, he went to his desk, he pulled out his drawer, he dumped it in a box, he put it back, and then he moved in with her. That's all the moving he's ever done. He's never owned stuff. The thing is that he didn't realize it didn't grok that you can't just put everything in boxes that day. You've got to like actually put stuff in boxes for a really long time because he's never experienced moving other than he's still in the mindset of I have a duffel bag and that's my life. It's just hardwired into him. But he's learned. He's learned.
I mean,
he'll never do that again.
You could have just said, fill this duffel bag and I'm burning everything else.
I wish I had. We would have fought less. It definitely put a wedge in our friendship, to say the least. So anyway, AC Ray says, I don't think my mother refers to you as the cursing lady anymore. My God, really? Oh, now I feel terrible. The cursing lady. I imagine the speakers helped shape her opinion.
The cursing lady sounds like a ghost tale that, school kids tell to each other. Don't go in the gymnasium after dark because the cursing lady will get you. If she catches you under the bleachers, she will start screaming shit at you.
So that actually reminded me. I joined Bumble, but not for a date. There is a section of Bumble that are just BFFs, and you're supposed to describe yourself. Yeah, just the friends. And described myself, and I only had a couple of letters left to left in my description. And so I added to the end sweary as ...
Appropriate.
I may, if I ever do the dating thing, I may just transfer it over because it pretty much nails me.
Yeah, the name of your profile can be the cursing lady.
The cursing lady. No, I don't really. I don't curse all that much. It's just when I'm around friends, I have no problem using curse words. Put it that way. You're the one that started a whole episode with the word.
On your request, if I remember.
I take no responsibility of it, but I didn't get that job. Can't believe that happened. Juju Kaisen, the cursing lady.
Oh, I guess she's a character in
Is she?
the prequel series. She's a childhood friend of a character who died when she was hit by a car. Her spirit was cursed, transforming her into a powerful, special grade, vengeful, cursed spirit worthy of the moniker Queen of Curses. So,
Oh.
do you want to be the cursing lady or do you want to be Queen
Oh,
of
oh,
Curses?
I want to be the queen of cursing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, I will absolutely take that one on. Although I'm not the most cursing person, certainly of anybody that I've met before. There are people that curse way much more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that English? Much more than I do. It's not really. It's cursing is like spices in a like seasoning. If you use too much of it, it's just blows it out, and that's all anybody ever remembers of you is this of that dish is how salty it was. If it's too little, it's bland. If it's just the right amount in just the right places, it's a masterpiece. Siri says, to be honest, what started? Something
Oh,
started on my computer. No, something started.
well,
I
he,
don't
he
know.
he said he wasn't talking about a character specifically, just that it's a show that deals with curses.
Got it.
I've heard very good things about that show. At some point, I will get around to watching it.
Yeah. All right. So, do we want to, by the way, everything sound good, right? And let me ask this of you guys. Does it look like my video is lagging slightly from my audio? Do I look slightly like one of those really bad Japanese kung fu movies of the 70s?
See, I think classic Godzilla movies. That's what I grew up with.
Classic Godzilla movies, yeah. Superman and Lois broke my heart when it had to say "screw cancer." Really? Yeah, that's when I
Mhm.
was younger, that's how I felt about swear words. That when somebody used swear words, it actually made me really sad.
Oh,
I really, really did not like swear words. It's in sync, but a couple minutes ago it was blurry. Oh yeah, blurry is fine. That's a stream. It's just that my video on my screen right now is significantly delayed from my audio. So it's a little disconcerting
yeah.
because it
You
does look like a Japanese kung fu movie on my screen.
look fine, and you know what? Even if it didn't look like, even if it looked that bad,
Oh.
go for it.
AC Ray says, no, I mean it's the phrase is fuck cancer and it's damn important.
Yeah, I
It's
think
true.
wasn't Superman and Lois a CW show? I think it like
Probably.
just ended. It was very recent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a network show. So yeah, they had to say screw
They
cancer.
had to say they couldn't say fuck cancer. Much as they probably wanted to.
The,
So
there's a scene on that same subject. There's a scene in Andor, the Star Wars show, that's like
uh-huh.
uh and it's like a prison break and everyone, no, it's not a prison break. There's like one scene where someone's giving a big speech about, oh, we're rebels, all this, like fight the empire. And they're like, there was an interview with the writer who's like, I didn't want to say fight. I wanted to say something else, but Disney was like, no.
No, you can't do that.
Mhm. Although, it is also worth noting, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No.
It has the first F-bomb of the MCU.
Really?
Yes. And it is wonderful.
Oh, really?
It's so good
It delivers?
because it just comes out of nowhere. It's like it comes out of nowhere. It's completely pointless, and you're like, James Gunn did this because he could,
Yeah.
because he's like, yeah,
Untouchable now.
mhm, yeah,
So, start the show?
yeah.
All right. Getting there. They really should just put the music at the top of the screen rather than make me scroll down. I don't know why they do that. All right, starting the show.
This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 688. We are recording this on Sunday, August 13th, 2023. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing very well.
Oh, did I mention that this week was my brother's 55th birthday?
No,
Yeah.
happy birthday, Ian.
Yeah. That's yeah, we went out and watched a game, and we went to a trivia. We went to a restaurant in our area that has a trivia night, and they and we just happened to be there, and we didn't participate. We just answered the questions ourselves, and we figured out how much points we had at the end just on ourselves, and we would have come in third, just Ian and me.
Ooh, not
Yeah,
bad. Was
yeah,
there like a prize for third place?
yeah,
There's a
yeah. And all
place.
the other teams were like 5 and 6 people, and it was like Ian
Hmm.
and me sitting at the bar, and I'm whispering the answers into his ear, and he's whispering the answers into my ear.
There's a place in the mall, like right next to us, that does a Tuesday night pub trivia, and we keep meaning to go there and do that because it would be really fun, but we always just keep forgetting about it. Because between the two of us, we cover a large base of knowledge. I have a very wide pop culture knowledge. Rachel knows other things
Everything
that aren't
else.
pop culture.
Yeah. I would, oh man, that's a long way for me to go. But then again, on a Tuesday, no, because I got the dogs. Tuesday nights are hard.
I'm sure we could find some place like in between us to do it together.
Yeah, because I'd have to come home. I have to take care of the dogs, then I have to go back.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I definitely appreciate cats a little bit more.
Cats are easy.
Very little bit more. Yeah, but dogs are fun.
Cats can be fun too.
Dogs give me so much joy. Oh god, that dog makes me laugh every damn morning.
You
Anyway,
just yeah.
first F-bomb. Oh, there's the spoiler. Thank
Oh,
you.
there's a video of it.
Don't wreck it for me. I may want to see it. If I do, I don't want to have it wrecked.
It is a very good movie.
Also, don't want to get demonetized.
Hmm.
Not like we make any money anyway, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. So,
So,
oh, I guess I might as well talk about my game since it's super fast.
okay.
Well, you actually watched last week,
Yeah.
Killer Frequency. Um, so we're down to I think we have figured out who the killer is. We just haven't like I think we probably have one more chapter, like one more like murder or almost murder. She'll probably actually, I'm anticipating he or she will probably come after us. And I think that there's going to be a twist. But I'm pretty sure who it is. I'm pretty sure why it's happening.
I
but
thought
it's
that
still good. It's good.
I thought
It's
that we had. I guess we hadn't revealed the killer, but we were
yeah.
like, because there was the
Oh no,
lady
we know who the killer is,
after
but
that
we don't know
stream.
why.
Okay, okay. Because I was
And
like, wait, you were trying to
I
help
found that thing.
someone.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
it's
found that
okay,
thing, I think, in and put it together of why.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah. That
because we had the alarm situation.
yes, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, the alarm situation.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that
essentially, I
seems like a
know we're
really cool
so close
game.
to being done. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just it's cool and dorky and weird and
It's
I
funny how you keep getting calls and you're like, you're on blah blah 785 the bone. It's like, what? Who is this? Why there's someone trying to kill me? It's like,
right.
okay. Where are you? What's your name? Just
Have
like
you
all of a sudden the shift, and yet he continues to open every call with
You're
the
calling the scream
yeah
17 94.5 the scream and you
it's
notice every single time that he answers that phone I hit the sound effect the scream or the scream it's the little sound effects button and yeah I've been enjoying the sound effects.
yeah it's a cool watching it, it was cool. It does seem like a little forced the way that you have to, time pauses as you're like, okay, I have a list of the things these kids are good at, and they're asking me to decide what they should do.
Oh
So let
yes,
me
totally.
okay, well, Jimmy was like voted most likely to win an acting award. Or like Sandy is most likely to win a go-kart race, but also most likely to get in an accident. Should she be the getaway driver?
Right,
Like she's
right.
good, but she's reckless. And you know, but the puzzle itself is fun. Like that was cool to have to look at it, flip it, and then do that deduction of well, they're good, but they're also kind of reckless. So how does that balance with the other people?
Right. Yeah, and we're doing pretty good with the deaths and near deaths. Uh, we've managed to save quite a few. We've also gotten a bunch of them killed. So I normally, Stacey Ray says I normally link to Edie's gameplay, but there are so many parts. Yeah, so just go to the GameHounds and you will see there's we've done 2 and we'll have a third one hopefully tonight. I'm gonna try and do it tonight. Um, but yeah, so um I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm also craving some CK3, like serious hardcore
You
cravings for it.
want to go back to the main game or to the Game of
I kinda
Thrones?
wanna go back to the main game. I kinda wanna go back
Hmm,
to Game of Thrones too, but I kinda wanna go back to the main game.
okay.
There's some areas I haven't really tried and tested and some challenges that I haven't done,
Like,
and
isn't
I looked at my, uh, achievements.
mm-hmm.
I hardly have any achievements in that game
Mm,
because I've really when I was playing it like hardcore, like every night for 4 hours a night, and I was learning it, I didn't play in Iron Man mode, which is the
oh,
only way that you can get achievements.
achievements? Really?
You have to
Oh,
play
that's
Iron Man mode.
brutal.
Yeah. And so I look at like all the achievements, I'm like, I've gotten those. Oh, but I wasn't playing Iron Man. So I have
Isn't
to
there
kind of
like
go back and replay everything in Iron Man now.
do you want to replay it in the same areas? Or isn't there like a whole African section of the game?
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Yes. In fact,
And that's
I
like a
am
whole new game.
yes, I am actually very interested in possibly trying this really interesting character who is um it is a land that was Jewish and then became Muslim, but a lot of the vassals are still Jewish. And if you play that character and convert back to Judaism, then you can like find it's your own Judaic roots in that area, but you are also surrounded by Egypt and a bunch of like heavily hardcore, very large, very dangerous empires and kingdoms that very much don't like you because you're Jewish in a Muslim area. So that's like one of the more challenging ones to do and survive. And I
Mm.
really, really want to do it.
I remember when I was looking through that area, there was a really interesting set of countries where it was like a bunch up top, a bunch down below, then just like Sahara Desert in the middle, with one country controlling like the path through the desert.
Yeah. Yeah. That's is that was down in the Africa area?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I actually started playing that. A
Hmm.
female king, or I should say, at that
The
point,
Woman King, like the
duchy.
movie.
Yeah, she's it's a the rules down there are different as far as line of successions, and um male only is not, we think of kings as being male only, but when you talk worldwide, that was really just a European and Christian thing. So there's a lot of stuff down that area. And I absolutely have I did start one there and really struggled because it was the first time coming back to Crusader Kings after a really long time away. And Crusader Kings is one of those games that you have to know and remember all the angles.
Mm.
All the angles. And if you've forgotten the angles and you're playing something like that kind of character, you're going to struggle. And I did. And I really should have just gone back to Europe and gotten my feet wet there before I started down there. But I played her a little while and struggled, to say the least. Struggled with money essentially. And I forgot that, of all the tricks that you need to do to create money. So it's a fun game, and I'm looking forward to going back to it. So I'm craving it, and I'm also really want to do. Was it Route 96?
Oh
Route.
yes, yeah, that was that one. Yeah, Route 96 about the kids
Yeah,
trying to escape.
I really want to do that one too. So I've got a couple of games up there, and not gonna lie, I think I gotta pick up Baldur's Gate.
Look, I'm just killing time until Baldur's Gate comes out. I don't pre-order games. I pre-ordered Baldur's Gate.
It's
I'm
out, isn't it?
It's out on PC, not PlayStation. I pre-ordered
Oh,
it for PlayStation.
yeah. I'll do
I'm
it for PlayStation.
yeah, I've been watching a lot of streamers play it, watching a lot of videos about it, and it looks so much fun. So expansive.
Let me take a look. When does it
Yeah.
come out for PlayStation?
The 6th. I know this because it's the same day as Starfield. And so for a while I've been like, which one should I play first? And for a while I was like, yeah, no, it's going to be Starfield. But this past month, after watching people play it, it's going to have to be Baldur's Gate because I want to make those decisions for myself.
Oh, that's right. And we just found out, and then I don't know if you have it in the news about when it's going to come out to Xbox.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sometime in the future.
A long time in the future. It's a
Yeah.
ways off.
I guess we can mention it here. The reason they're having issues with the Xbox is because Xbox requires games to have feature parity between the Series X and the Series S.
Right.
And the developer is having trouble getting the co-op to work on the Series S.
Yeah. And they said it's not going to come out until 2024.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit.
Then like it's unfortunate, but it in terms of consoles, it comes down to, well, Xbox and PlayStation are both having a big RPG release on the same day. So if you thought the whole acquisition battle didn't inflame the console wars enough, now you have a direct like comparison to
Yep.
compare.
So I'm very much
But yeah,
looking
it looks very
towards
cool.
Baldur's Gate.
It looks like
Is it
Dragon Age.
cross-platform?
It's cross save, but not cross platform play. So if I bought it on PC and started playing, I could transfer that save to PlayStation. But I don't think I on PlayStation could play with you on PC.
Right. See, and I don't want to buy it twice, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though
Although,
Larian
although
Studios, oh my God, the way people are talking about Larian Studios, it's like the way that they used to talk about CD Projekt Red before Cyberpunk.
which makes sense because I think Larian, in a lot of ways, is in the same position CD Projekt was before Witcher 3. Like when Witcher 3 came out, CD Projekt had just kind of put out a bunch of good, but kind of under the radar games. Like The Witcher 2 was really, really good, but it kind of flew under people's radars and they found it later. And then Witcher 3 came out and blew everyone away. And Larian's kind of the same. Like they've been making a lot of
Really
good
good
games
games.
over the years. It's just they've been very niche PC focused RPGs. And like now is kind of their I don't I honestly don't know what it is about Baldur's Gate 3 that has like bumped the hype up to the next level for them. Maybe it's just the production values they put into it. But this is definitely like their moment to their Witcher 3 moment.
AC Ray says characters in Baldur's Gate are tied to campaign save files, not player counts. And he said Divinity Original Sin was, or sorry, Chunderbox is here. Hey, Chunder. Divinity Original Sin was a great game. I really enjoyed it.
I remember enjoying Divinity less than Pillars of Eternity, but Divinity was still good.
Yeah. Why
But
is that cutting
yeah.
off the way it is? Anyway, so what else is going on with you?
Oh yeah. Well, other than watching a lot of people play Baldur's Gate and just wishing that I could, in that spirit, I started playing Solasta Crown of the Magister.
Oh, really? You
Because-
did? I've been meaning to do that for
Yeah.
a long time.
And I played it on Xbox. So the thing is, I had originally not played it because I thought it was a PC Game Pass exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw like this week that it was available for consoles. So I downloaded it on Xbox and tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it wasn't quite what I thought it would be, and it suffers from a lot of the issues that I think this type of CRPG suffers from when being ported to console.
Right?
In that it's a little janky to control. And you don't have direct control of your character. You instead you move a cursor around the screen and hit X to move. And it's a little unintuitive because the speed of the cursor isn't quite what you want it to be, and so you're constantly overshooting and then recorrecting to get on an object. And narratively, Solasta is less of a like here's a campaign with like characters that you're going to grow attached to and we're going to tell an epic story over the course of several hours, and it's more of a platform for creating mini dungeons, because there's an option on the main menu for me to create a dungeon and share it with the community and to play community made dungeons. And when you start a campaign, the game encourages you to create a party of your own characters. That means creating 4 characters on your own, or you can select from a pre-made number. But like it encourages you to create your own characters and they can be used in various campaigns. And so there's like a number of campaigns you can choose from, and there's more in DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And so each session is less of a big epic story and more of like a series of one-shot D&D campaigns, which was not exactly what I was looking for. And so that coupled with kind of the janky Xbox controls turned me off
Right.
of it.
Right.
But mechanically, I think it played well. It was interesting.
Mhm.
It's just that, I was kind of looking for something bigger to sink my teeth into.
Yeah, something that led you instead of you leading it, and I guess it all depends. I mean, it depends on who you are. It depends on what you're looking for from a
Yeah,
game.
I think the idea of having players create dungeons and being able to play player created dungeons is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's when Solasta came out, they were like, this is D&D.
Yeah.
This is D&D.
And
Flat out, it's D&D. Just
and when
and
you
and that lends you to believe that, or should lend you to recognize how much player um creativity is very much a part of the charm of the game.
yeah. And when you're creating a new campaign, you can choose the difficulty that's like, I want to stick to the rules, or no, you can fudge the rules a little bit. So you
How
can,
did
you
you
can
play it?
choose. I played by the rules, but I didn't
Uh-huh.
play that much, and so I didn't get into too many brutal combat scenarios.
Got it.
But yeah, it's good game, just not what I was looking for in the moment.
Yeah.
Um, then I went back to no, what did I play? Oh, so then I was like, okay, I'm killing time for Baldur's Gate, so this is my chance to play all of like the little games that I never had a chance to. I started playing The Forest.
You're supposed to be playing that with me.
Yes, but I wanted to start a run so that I kind of understood what I was supposed to be doing, which I have learned is absolutely fucking necessary.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, you start the game, plane crash, you land in like a forest, and they're like weird, freaky ass, not monsters, but like mutant people.
Mhm.
Uh, and so, but the plane crashed and saw this luggage everywhere. So I'm like smacking open the luggage, getting like a whole bunch of candy bars and soda, and I'm like, okay, I'm loading up on food. This is really good. And I'm like, okay, uh, how do I build a shelter? And it's like the sun's going down. Like, no, how do I build the shelter? How do I pass time? How do I save the game? Sun goes down, and when the sun goes down in that game, it is pitch fucking black. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's so black. You crash next to like a little hut of community, like a tents. So like two tents and a fireplace. I start a fire. I get back up into the tent, and like as I'm looking around, I can't tell what the tent is. It's like if I step outside the tent and look around, it's like I don't know. I could be in a 2-foot room. I could be in a forest. I can't tell. And I'm just listening to the and like all of a sudden I see a little shadow run by. It's like these motherfuckers are everywhere. And that's what I wasn't expecting, is that the mutant people, they are everywhere. They harass you like annoying
Yes.
little motherfucker.
Yes.
They'll
Yes. Yes. And it's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. It
Mhm.
freaked me out so bad.
And what's interesting is sometimes they'll be like really aggressive and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna come get you," and then you fight them. Other times they'll run up to you and then just run away. You're like, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" And so I feel like playing for a couple hours and realizing like, okay, this is the shelter I need to save the game and pass time. This is how I can create walls. Cutting down trees. There's a lot of that. Lot of cutting down
Lot of
trees.
cutting down trees.
There are so many trees. I am gonna deforest this fucking island by the
And that
end of the
becomes
game.
an issue. That does become an issue
Oh,
later.
it had become an issue before because I cut down all the trees in my immediate area, and then I was like, well, shit. All the next closest trees are down this hill. That means I have to carry the logs up. What am I going to do? Well, I'll create a set of stairs and then cut a bunch of logs on those stairs. And yeah, I think when I stopped playing, I was looking for a turtle shell, and so I had found a river, but there's like a they must like that river because there's a whole bunch of them around there. And I kept trying to like sneak my way over there, but every time I ran into a group that killed me. and I couldn't find my turtle shell.
Well, are you playing it now, and what are you playing it on?
PlayStation.
All right, I'll play with it.
Yeah.
We'll do that tonight. What tonight, guys? What do you want? Do you want me and Nick playing the forest and probably screaming a lot, or do you want to finish Killer Frequency? Your call. I will do whatever you guys want. Because I mean, it's all both of them are going to be there. It's not like one or the other, and the other one's not gonna get played. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that I put some time into it to figure out how to start the game, because even now I feel like, well, I started making my main base on this hill, but if I could do it over again, I would like to make that main base somewhere in a more densely wooded area, because now it's like I'm too far from the trees.
Yeah, AC Wraith pointed out that you misspelled forest. You put an extra R in there, and he says the extra
No.
R on screen is for you are supposed to play with me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
The
you.
extra R is because it's all rated, very violent.
Yeah,
I'm
it's actually he's playing the game, not that game, but the one about Forrest Whitaker, where you
Yeah.
are on a road trip with Forrest Whitaker.
No, okay. What I will say, there was a great moment on my first night in the forest when, I'm burning money to try to keep this fire alive because I can't fast travel time. And so I just need to wait for the sun to come up. These guys are running around harassing me, and I'm just trying to stay by the fire, but it keeps getting low. One comes up really close, and I fight him and I kill him. And then I realize, oh, I can move the body. Well, what if I throw the body onto the fire? And sure enough, it catches fire. And so now I'm like, well, all right, come on and fight me, because this just gives me more fuel.
Yeah.
So
So you haven't made torches or anything to encircle your area?
you can make torches? I made walls. That's what I did. I made a bunch of walls with logs and a bunch of those defensive barriers. And I sort of circled the camp with walls and defensive barriers, and then created a garden and a water catcher. But I need the turtle shell for the water catcher.
Got it. Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, I was starting to create a defensive perimeter, but yeah, I don't know about torches. See, I want to
yeah, you can
save.
make torches, and when you're out in the open and you've got fire in the center, and then you can create torches around so that you can see farther into the distance.
Hmm.
I believe you use a human skull to make the torch.
Okay. I wonder what all those skulls were for.
Yeah, I think it's like a stick and I forgot what the materials are. Somebody in here might remember because it's been a long time since I played the forest.
The fires take so much fuel. It's crazy. Like they just take so much to upkeep.
Everybody wants me to play Killer Instinct. Okay, or Killer Frequency. All right, we'll find out. Killer
Yeah,
Frequency tonight.
look, you got to solve the mystery.
Yep. All right. Then we'll later on this week. Next time you play, send me a little, ping me a little message. And
Okay.
we'll see if I can get on. I probably can.
Then maybe I'll play sometime this week. Tonight I will probably be playing the other thing that I started.
There you
getting
go. How to
into.
make a torch.
Oh, thank you. I got back into Horizon Forbidden West
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, it's a good game and it's something to do the kill time before Baldur's Gate. And it remains to be a really good game. I like that it's harder than you'd expect. For being a triple A open world game, I kind of expect those games to be relatively easy. But you can get in some fights that really, really kick your ass. If you're not properly aiming your arrows and like ripping off the parts of the robots, then yeah, they can wreck you. But that makes it really fun, and that makes exploring the world fun because there's a sense of danger in it. But I played for a solid couple hours this weekend, And I'm like, you know what? Like explored this area pretty well. And then I zoomed the map out, and I realized, oh, I'm like not even a quarter through this world. This world is huge. This world is bigger than huge. Like this is offensively big. It boggled my mind, and I thought, this is a cool game. I'm never going to finish it. Like there's too much to do in this world, and like I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's just there's so much of it. It's insane. I don't know. You know what? You
Man,
know
I
what?
just I want to say something and I'm not going to. I'm gonna let you find it out.
About what? Horizon?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Thought you were talking about the. I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry,
the
I was
forest?
thinking the forest. Yes, Horizon is a very big game.
Horizon is very big. The forest, I got killed the first time, and they capture you and take you to a lair. And in that lair, you're able to find a compass and a map. And so for the first time, I'm able to like start mapping out the area. And I do realize, oh shit, this is a pretty big island. So yes. So yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, very fun. It's a pretty fun pick up and play game too. At first I was worried that it would be hard to get back into, but the combat, even though there's so many systems in the game,
Hmm.
and it's impressive how much one system feeds into the next, how much like collecting resources matters to crafting, which matters to combat, which matters to upgrading, which then goes back into resource collecting. And like there's a really nice cycle of systems where everything encourages you to interact with every other system. And so I was worried that it would be a little overwhelming, but like the game is also just, hey, go to that waypoint over there. Hey, there's a question mark on the map. Go to that question mark and you'll find something interesting to do. And so I just did that. And over the course of a couple hours, all of the mechanics started coming back to me. And it's like, oh, okay, this is cool. You can actually pick up and play it and get back into it. Oh, and
Gotcha.
as you asked if I'm playing Forest or Sons of the Forest, I'm playing the first one. I'm playing Forest 1.
Yeah, Sons of the Forest is. I'm really curious about Sons of the Forest because it's a totally different opener, and there's from the start there's a guy
Oh
who
yeah,
is
don't you have like a companion?
a companion,
Yeah.
and you just tell him what to do and he goes does it. So it's like cut down trees, and he's like, okay, and he goes and cuts
Oh
down
god,
trees.
it would be so nice to
I
have someone cut down all the
know.
trees
I
for
know.
me.
I saw that for the first time. I'm like, oh, I gotta play Sons of the Forest now.
At first, because when I started playing that, you get a book and the book tells you how to craft everything. It's like, oh, do you want to make this wall? Here's the resources you need for it, which is really handy. But I'm looking at this going like, sticks, okay, I can find sticks. I picked up sticks. Rocks, okay, I've got a bunch of rocks. But like logs, where do I find a log? Like there's no log in this area. And it took me like 20 minutes before I thought, can I can I cut down trees? Like, is this actually a mechanic? And I walked up to a tree and started whacking it, and I just started whacking it a lot, and it didn't seem like anything was happening. So I moved on to another tree, and eventually I realized you whack it enough, and you can start seeing
Mhm.
the cut progress through the trunk of the tree. And I realized, oh, I can knock it over. Not only that, but you can control where it falls too, because it will always fall opposite the direction that you cut. And so it's like, I realized that and thought, oh, I would start cutting trees so that they fell in towards my camp, just so that I could get some logs closer to it.
Right.
But yeah, lot of tree cutting.
Yeah, a lot of tree cutting, and that never goes away. So, what else you play?
That was it. Forbidden West, Solasta, and the Forest. Of those, I will probably go back and play more Forest and Horizon. Oh, I guess I did. I finished Moss, the VR game that I was playing the other week.
Right.
Yeah, I finished that. This week I might stop playing Book 2. But
Okay.
yeah, that continues to just be a really, really cool VR game.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we hit the news?
Okay. Is there someone in the force?
Oh, sorry, hold on. Stop. I don't know why it does that. Stupid. What was it say? Somewhere in the forest is a 1,000-year-old oak now rotting from next. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look, 1,000-year-old oak just means more logs.
You know what's sitting underneath our oak? Or
What?
that oak? Our child that we left in purgatory.
From Fable?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's either dead or he's become the king of hell.
When did that was what? Fable 3? Fable
Yeah.
2.
Fable 3.
It was Fable 3. What year did Fable 3 come out? I think it was probably 2009.
Close. 2010.
Okay. Because it was 2000. I was at JetBlue San Francisco. So yeah, it was either 2009 or 2010. Okay. So 2010, our child would be 13. Our child is a teenager living in purgatory.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they're alive.
They're alive. Our kid's a survivor.
There's every possibility that he died 30 seconds after you let go of his hand.
Yeah, with my looks and my brains, that kid's alive. So, all right, let's hope that now it's not going to be a little asshole StreamYard. And let's hit the news. This is the news used in commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick Nicola. And our first item is
Not a whole lot of news. I think one of the most interesting ones is that there have been some leaked images of what could be the PS5 Slim.
Yeah, I saw that.
And yeah, it could be a scam, like these things always are. But it looks pretty real in that it looks like a slim PS5. The design of it is pretty simple. Like no one's trying to pull anything fancy. It's mainly just a PS5 but slightly thinner.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the. There we go. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the images. All right, stand by. Anyway, keep talking. I'm just
Oh, okay.
pulling up images.
Yeah, there's kind of not much to say about it. I guess the bigger thing is that it's still a rumored console. Like Sony hasn't actually announced a PS5 Slim. So having images leak of it seems a little suspicious. But, they've also put out a Slim of the PS3 and PS4, so it only stands to reason that they would do it with the PS5. Especially now that, I think I read in one of their earnings recently that the sales of PS5 has started to slow. So this is the time to put out a new version to kind of goose the sales a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get it to start, the video to start.
No, I might be able to. Let's see if I can
Yeah,
present
it
my
looks
screen.
like it's not working super well.
Here, can you see this video?
There we go. Thank you. I don't know why mine's not working. Yeah, looks like a slim PS5.
Yeah, a PS5 that the dude can actually hold in one hand, which
it's kind of nice.
You can't do with the other one.
And it has a disc. That's the one with the disc drive. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. So yeah, if it's true, then that means they'll probably be making two versions of the PS Slim.
Right. Yeah, that would be a good thing. I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. I mean,
mean, I'm not going to buy it. I have my own.
yeah, we've got the other ones. So there's no need for us to buy it. But for people that have not picked one up yet, this would be the time to do it.
Mhm.
I know it and the Xbox Series X recently went on sale in the UK. I think it was. They're like $50 off.
Oh,
And so we're getting to that point in the hardware cycle where you're starting to see discounts on the consoles. You're starting to see cheaper versions of the consoles.
mhm.
I'm glad. I would prefer they put out a slim version than a pro version. I don't think Sony
Yeah.
will be doing a pro version this generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they invested too many resources into this console
Mhm.
that trying to basically create a new mid-range console uh, wouldn't sell. I don't think people would go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. And I mean, the PlayStation is already more expensive than the Xbox. So to create a PlayStation Pro that is even more expensive than the PlayStation,
Well, I guess at this point, if they create a PS Pro, it would be 500, and the PlayStation would drop to like 400.
possibly,
Also,
possibly.
I don't think the PS is more expensive. I think they're both 500.
No, I believe the the Xbox is $100 less, $50 less, something like that. The Xbox Series X is definitely cheaper.
No, Xbox Series X is $499.
Has it always been that way?
It had to have been. I don't think they would have raised the price.
I mean, did
Although I think they
PlayStation
did
drop the
raise the
price?
price. No, they didn't drop the price. Sony's going to do everything they can not to drop that price.
Yeah. I don't know why I had this impression that this PlayStation was slightly or the Xbox was slightly less expensive. Huh. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, that's a
Yeah,
thing.
that's a thing. Another thing is that Nintendo is trying to patent a whole bunch of stuff from Tears of the Kingdom.
Really?
This comes from Automaton. It's a gaming website that focuses on Japanese games,
Mhm.
and it found 32 patents that Nintendo had done for Tears of the Kingdom, which range from like physics interactions to loading screens.
Mhm.
And it's uh, a little aggressive in trying to patent things. One of the things they want to patent is the mechanic of when someone fires a bow and that bow lands somewhere, a lightning strike comes down to hit where that arrow landed.
Mhm.
Another thing they're trying to patent is the specific, and this one at least might be more valid, the specific physics interaction between Link and moving objects. So the way that the physics works in Tears of the Kingdom is if Link is on, because in Tears of the Kingdom, you can create like a bunch of things. You can put wheels on a platform to create a car. And so you can have all sorts of these user created funky vehicles. And the way the physics work is when Link is on that vehicle and it's moving, in from the perspective of the physics engine, Link and the vehicle are both moving at the same speed. Whereas with other game engines, if a character's on a moving vehicle, then that character is stationary upon a vehicle that's moving. So it's a slight difference, but kind of importance for how the physics engine kind of defines and thinks about these two different elements in motion and how they relate to each other. And so they want to patent that. But yeah, then they also want to patent how the character rides on top of a horse, how the arrow works. They want to patent the the loading screen. When you load from one area to another, you get a loading screen that shows the map of your area and it transitions to the map of the new area.
Mhm.
And they want to patent that. And overall, it feels like a lot of really aggressive patent trolling that, I guess not patent trolling, but a bunch of overly aggressive patenting that would really limit what people can do. And it reminds me of when Shadow of Mordor came out. And they had that really, really cool nemesis system where if a bad guy killed you, they would like get promoted through the ranks and they would become your nemesis and they would remember you. And it's like this complex interaction between the people that you fight and like their standing in the enemy army. And it was a really cool system. And when it came out, everyone was like, yo, this is cool. I can't wait to see what other games do with this system. No other games have used it. And no other games have used it because Warner Brothers patented it. And it got used in the sequel and never again. And so it's a real shame that this cool system kind of just gets relegated to the dustbin of history because the person who patented it decides not to do anything with it.
Right.
And so
Right.
all of these patents, some of them seem a bit more legitimate than others because some of them are like about technical processes and others are just like basic game design.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a part of me that says that companies that create cool mechanics should have the ability to protect those mechanics from being, because they were the ones that put the time and the research and the creativity into them. That being said, that's an awful lot of interesting mechanics that, like you said, if they patent them and then if they don't use them, they die.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a shame.
And yeah, and a lot of it, like I said, is kind of basic gameplay interactions that can be used beyond Zelda.
Mhm.
It can be used
Right.
in any game.
Right.
And yeah, as you Helsing says, I don't think they will get some of them, which I agree with. Like these aren't patents that have been
No, they
approved. They're
were
patents that have been
applications.
filed.
Right. You can ask for a lot of things.
Exactly. And yeah, I guess kudos to them for trying, but I kind of hope that most of these get shut down because one of the cool things about gaming is how different mechanics get iterated upon in different games. And that's how you kind of create genres is people start copying each other.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, and AC Wraith says how the Nemesis system got an indie makeover in Star Renegades. I remember that was a cool game, but it was a roguelike, and I hated the roguelike aspect of it. But okay, I guess maybe hopefully we'll see a bit more of the Nemesis system.
Yeah.
Anyways, uh so in kind of fun news,
Mhm.
Overwatch 2 came out on Steam and was immediately review bombed into oblivion with
Wow.
most of the people saying the only good thing about the game is the porn,
Oh my
which is
god.
is just a brutal
Oh, how they turned on Overwatch. They
quote.
just turned on it like rabid dingoes. Oh my god.
A quote from one of the reviews: "The people who make Overwatch porn work harder than the people who make Overwatch." So yeah,
Uh,
I guess in related news, Overwatch 2 came out with a piece of DLC that added story missions for like the first time since the game's release.
mhm.
And based on all the reviews I read, they're good, but not. It's like too little, too late. It's like
Right.
people have been waiting for some sort of story in Overwatch since the game came out, and if they're just starting to do something like that now, then yeah, people kind of over it.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah. Next. I mean, it's all you this
Yeah.
week. Again, I didn't
Okay.
bring anything because it's also a slim week and because I was dealing with technical difficulties with broken shit. It's the best way to describe it.
Okay, I've got a couple others. Let me pull this up. Okay, this is interesting. Kai Cenat basically started a riot when he told people. So, for background, Kai Cenat is the most subbed Twitch streamer on Twitch. Number one Twitch streamer.
Oh, yes, I heard about this, but I didn't get a chance to read about it. Yeah, he got arrested, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, number one Twitch streamer says, I'm going to do a giveaway in New York City's Union Square.
Times Square.
Was
Wasn't it Times Square? I thought it was
the,
Times Square.
The Verge article says Union Square.
Oh, I thought it was Times Square, but I would
Yeah.
trust the Verge article over me.
And yeah, he did a video where he showed off a bunch of PS5s and a bunch of $100 gift cards. So the giveaway was set to start at 4 p.m. and Union Square Park was full, like completely full by 3 p.m. Here, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see the video of this. This is a CBS News article. I'll mute it.
Put it in full screen so I can see it. There we go. Oh God.
So yeah, he basically arrived in a car, and as soon as he got out of the car, he was swamped by people. I don't actually know if the giveaway took place because there's just too many people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it basically started not a riot, but yeah, like a big mass disturbance.
A large disturbance.
Enough that he got arrested for causing this massive disturbance.
Yeah, where they had to haul out the cops and, create police lines and stuff.
Yeah, that looks like a New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it does. So he was arrested. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a good view.
Oh my God. So he was arrested, and what was he arrested for?
Let's see. I don't know if they have said yet. But they removed him from the park before declaring that the gathering was an unlawful assembly. And so yeah, Sadat is going to be charged with 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Yeah, and now he's gotten all the press in the world. He was on freaking 60 Minutes,
Yeah. Which, hey, when the number one Twitch streamer says they're going to do something, expect a giant crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also irresponsible of him knowing that, to create a crowd like that, because, that could get people hurt and or killed.
Yeah. The Verge article mentioned too that someone was injured because someone else set off a firecracker in the crowd.
Doesn't surprise me.
And then my final story is well, I guess no, not final story. Nice story. Lance Reddick, who passed recently, voiced a character in Destiny 2, and had been voicing that character since the game came out. And a lot of people were wondering, what are they going to do with that character now that Lance Reddick has passed? And Bungie has announced that they're going to replace him with Keith David, which, if you know Keith David, and if you don't know him, you know his voice. And if you know him and Lance Reddick, they've got good comparable voices. So, Lance Reddick, Keith David seems like he'll be a good replacement.
Yeah. Yeah. And what has Keith David done previous?
Oh, he's done a bunch of voice work. He was the Arbiter in Halo 2. He's like done a bunch of military barks. He's got like a good gruff military sergeant's voice.
Got it. All right, that's a good match.
Yeah, and Lance Reddick, people might know him as the hotel clerk in John Wick. He's
Yes.
the guy behind the desk. And the only other news story I have left is kind of a small one, but also kind of a harbinger of the future. That Sea of Stars, which is just this kind of indie retro RPG, is the first game that is going to release on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus at the same time.
Really?
So this isn't the PlayStation Plus free game if you're a monthly subscriber. This is the the Game Pass equivalent tier. So yeah, first game to launch on both services at the same time. It'll be interesting to see how it does, because that's giving it away for free for a lot of people. But I imagine for an indie developer, that's also a lot of money that they're getting upfront rather than waiting for sales. And based on everything I've seen of the game, it actually looks like a cool retro RPG.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had more to talk about, but it's really a thin week for news. And I think it's A, because the fact that it's summertime, and B, they're starting to gear up for the big Christmas releases.
Yeah. Did we mention the other week about, I think we did, how Xbox will have they'll have a huge presence at Gamescom?
Yes. We mentioned that Sony is not going to be there, as I recall.
Yeah, Sony's not going to be there.
Yeah, we thought they might, but Xbox is. Xbox definitely going to take advantage of Sony's absence. And I think that that's another reason why you're not hearing a lot, is that, PAX is coming up, Gamescom is coming up.
Yeah, Gamescom is like end of this month.
Yeah. Gamescom, one of these years, we will do the Gamescom PAX, 1-2 punch.
I mean, PAX is easy. Gamescom is
and you will see the difference.
Harder.
You will see the difference between PAX and a media convention.
A proper convention.
They're very different. Very, very different. And we'll also drink a lot of beer.
Oh, of course. That goes without saying.
I will drink my weight in beer. Yep. And none of these IPA bullshit. It's going to be lager. Lots and lots of German lager. And maybe a Pilsner if I'm feeling reckless. No, I can't do IPAs. IPAs?
I gotta not IPA. IPA is too hoppy for me. I want something.
I agree.
I want something light.
Yeah, you want a lager. You want a nice German lager. You want a
okay
Stiegel. Oh,
I like a Hefeweizen.
Yeah, wheat beer. Yep. Then you will, if you like a Hefeweizen, then you will love pretty much every lager. The only difference between really lagers and Hefeweizen is one of them is, well, what wheat, A, and B, it hasn't been unfiltered wheat beer. So I wish I had more to tell you or talk about. I do not.
I mean, I got a couple interesting things, and I'm just browsing.
Yeah.
Some previews have started to come out of the Lords of the Fallen, which is the remake / sequel of the first major Souls-like game. And from everything people are saying, it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Everything people are saying is it wears its inspiration on the sleeve. It feels like this really wants to be Dark Souls. But you know what? It's really good.
Right.
Hey, do you want more Dark Souls?
Right.
Here you go.
Right.
Which honestly, Yeah, a
That's
lot of
not a
people
bad. That's
do.
not a bad
That's
idea.
that's not a bad thing. You know,
No.
sometimes look, Lies of P is just, hey, do you want more Bloodborne? Here you go. And so between Lords of the Fallen and Lies of P, uh it's it's a heavy year for Souls-like games.
Right.
I think I saw two. When I was browsing Game Pass, I saw that Lies of P is actually going to come out on Game Pass, which got me excited
Yeah, I
because
would be interested in Liza P to play Liza P on Game Pass. I would not be interested. Like Dark Souls, if Dark Souls had been on Game Pass, I would have played Dark Souls because I would have tried it. I would have been I would either have loved it or have hated it. And
Mhm.
I would have been fine. But I wasn't willing to spend the money on a game that I might hate. There's a high likelihood that I would not only hate, that I would hate a lot and very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So it was not worth it to me to take that financial risk.
Yeah. So yeah, I was surprised but happy to see it because based on the demo, I would like to play more of it, but I didn't know if I wanted to drop $70 on it, especially
Yeah.
in a year that's already overcrowded by big games. But yeah, the fact that it's coming on Game Pass lets people try it. And you know what? I remember way back in the day renting Demon Souls for PS3
Oh wow.
and playing it for a bit and going, this is stupid. Like if I die, I lose my experience points.
Yeah.
What is this bullshit?
Yeah.
And then
Chenderbox Chenderbox says there's a satire of from TikTok from somebody suing Larian Studios because
mm,
Baldur's Gate it's too good.
I remember before Baldur's Gate came out, and I don't think we talked about this. Uh, there was a lot of hype about Baldur's Gate, and there was a Twitter thread about someone saying, "Hey, look, I don't want Baldur's Gate to set a new standard for RPGs because its development is an anomaly. They spent 6 years making the game with 3 years in early access. Like, most developers don't get a chance to put that many resources into a game. So, if this is the new standard, that's a standard most people can't live up to."
Yeah.
And there were some developers going, "Yes, yes, I agree." And some people going, "No, this is stupid. That's not how like culture and progress and standards work." And so it's been interesting to see the game release with that in mind because based on everything I've seen, it doesn't it looks like a CRPG.
Mhm.
It's a CRPG that I've played before. It's Pillars of Eternity. It's Pathfinder, Wrath of the White Righteous. It's Divinity, Original Sin. It's a game that has come out before. It just has a certain level of production values that those games don't have.
Right.
And that's it. But like it's not a whole new type of game.
No.
It's an old game with better graphics.
Done well.
Yeah. And so it's been interesting to see like the fear replaced with the realization that no, you actually can do this.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the graphics are good, but like people have made this type of game before
Yes.
and they'll make it again.
Yep.
What did it say? Nick should get Lords of the Fallen, Edie should get Baldur's Gate, and I should get Starfield.
You'd have to be on the show to do a review though. No writing it into the comment section. You'd actually have to be on the show. That's how you could how we could justify doing that.
I mean, honestly, giving AC Wraith Starfield is actually really easy. I
Oh,
could do that.
AC Race said there is. Oh, there's no 100 billion. Okay, there is no. Okay, no, it's a satire.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
joke.
it was a joke lawsuit. There's no lawsuit suing them because it's too good.
But no, the one advantage is if he wants Starfield, all we got to do is spend $10 to get him a month of Game Pass.
Sure, but he has a PC.
Oh,
Well, no,
so
but I think you can get Game Pass for the PC, right?
yeah,
Just the PC.
that's $15.
Yeah. So
Oh,
$15.
that's one thing we didn't mention. Um, Microsoft, like weeks ago, in one of the weeks that we were gone for like a month,
Right.
Microsoft announced that it was raising no, what is it? It was raising the price of Game Pass. And so Game Pass Ultimate would go to 15 to 17, and Game Pass for consoles would go from like 7 to 10 or something like that. They also announced that they were stopping Xbox Live Gold, and they were going to transition all those people to like a Game Pass basic plan.
Right.
But what all of this revealed is something I didn't realize, because when they raised the prices of Game Pass, I switched my plan to go to consoles only because I don't play on the PC and I don't see any reason to spend that extra money.
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass for consoles does not include online play.
Really?
So if Chris comes up and says, "Hey, we want to play some Battlefield or some Rainbow Six," I'm going to have to up my Game Pass for a month to the Ultimate in order to play online. And so the way the structure works now is
Fuckers.
the Game Pass basic plan that in Xbox Live Gold changed like a Game Pass basic.
Mm-hmm.
That includes a limited selection of Game Pass games, like 20 games,
Right.
and online play. If you up your plan to the next level,
Then they take away online play.
you get all
So-
the Game Pass games, but they take away online. And
so
then if you up it again,
then you get all the games and oh
Yeah.
my God.
and it's like, this is such bullshit.
You're better off stepping down. No,
Yeah.
because
No, but if I step down, I'll lose access to the games.
right.
There is no good middle ground. It's
No,
just,
there isn't.
hey, here's a good intro to here's everything, and the middle is just half fuck you.
Right.
Which, yeah, once I realized that, I was angry because, like, there's no clear indication of that, and
No,
I didn't even know about
I
that.
didn't know about it until you just said it.
Yeah, it feels like a poor system that has to change at some point.
Yeah, when people begin to realize that that's a bad way to work it, then yeah, things are gonna
Yeah.
they'll have to make changes because obviously nobody thought that one through very well.
And like I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep with the cheaper Game Pass,
Right.
and if you want to play, I'll up it for a month, but that's it.
Yeah. Just go month to month, raising it and then going back down because there's no reason for us to be sitting paying for a month of it when we aren't accessing
Yeah,
online
well,
play.
we're not really playing it.
Right.
So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Does that
other
also
than
mean like I
that,
won't be able to play with you multiplayer games?
unless I up it to Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh my
Right
God.
right now with the plan I'm on, I cannot play any Xbox game online. I cannot play any multiplayer game except free to play, I think.
That's a problem. That's a
Yeah.
huge problem that you can't play any multiplayer games.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Absolutely ludicrous. Well, anything thank you very much for that link because I am going to be putting that up here. By the way, if you're listening elsewhere, AC Wraith always provides links.
Yes.
So,
well, this
we don't have
know.
to go.
I know,
'Cause,
but
I mean,
I'm
if
looking.
we leave before 5, I can actually go to the pharmacy, which would be really nice.
Okay, I will say this is really big news. Not directly related to games, but tangentially related.
Okay.
That Marvel VFX workers have voted to start a union.
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, speaking of
That
enjoy
could
your
be
games, because
huge.
that's the only thing. Games and radio are the only thing you're going to be seeing for quite some time, because you're not going to be seeing any TV and you're not going to be seeing any movies.
I mean, you'll be seeing plenty of streaming stuff. It'll just all be South Korean dramas on Netflix.
Right. K-dramas.
Mm-hmm.
We win again. Yeah, no, get used to the idea of reading your TV series and reading your movies, because that's what you're going to be getting for at least the next 6 months.
And you know what? You should, because there's a lot of good, a
It's
lot
a
of good
lot of good
dramas
stuff
out
out
there.
there. Right. But yeah, and it's a I mean, just go listen to Adam,
Adam Ruins Everything.
the Adam Ruins Everything guy.
Adam Conover.
Adam Conover. I want to say Adam Sessler, and I didn't want to wreck it for you. Adam Conover. Adam Conover has done a numerous interviews, and you should absolutely sit down and listen to him and so that you can understand why this is happening, and what dicks the studios are being, and how nobody's going to cave. How everybody has caved in the past, and everybody's not caving this time. And not
Yeah.
only that, but other unions are starting to go out on strike in solidarity,
It's
and for good reason.
yeah. It's interesting to look back at the history of all of this and to kind of realize Netflix came about and was a big disruption. And everyone sold the content to Netflix and then realized, hey, people like this streaming stuff. People like streaming services. They like subscription services. And so all the studios were like, hey, let's do that. But I think what you see
Wait,
is
where's it? Right there. Itaewon
oh,
Class. Oh, Itaewon Class is a very good, and the
is that on
Extraordinary
Netflix?
Doctor Wu. Yeah, Extraordinary Doctor Wu is so good, so good that it's one of those rare cases where a webtoon has been created after the television show. Usually the webtoon is created and then the television show is created
Yeah.
based on the webtoon. It's the other way around. It's that good and that popular. Extraordinary Doctor Who is fantastic.
You know what's funny? I saw on Netflix, I think they premiered the same day.
Uncanny Counter, another one. They have a new season. I'm not that crazy about the new season. The old season, the first season was great.
I think Bucket List of the Dead, Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead, the anime
Yes.
and the Japanese live action movie
Oh, they're both on?
came out the same day on Netflix.
Oh wow! I just saw the anime. I didn't see the live action.
There's a live action one too.
Yeah. Let's see what. God, there's been a couple of really, really good ones that I've seen.
Hey,
Arthdal Chronicles. If you want to see Game of Thrones, but the Korean version, unfortunately, I think it's only one season. The Arthdal Chronicles is
Arthdal
so
Chronicles?
good. Arthdal. Arthdal Chronicles. It's essentially Korea's version of King of Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's been recommended to me by Netflix, but I haven't seen it. I'll
You
say
should watch it.
an absolute classic that I will 100% be pirating if it ever leaves Netflix is Kingdom. The South Korean feudal zombie series.
Yeah.
Kingdom is so good.
Yeah. Another one that just came in my head and left. Oh, if you want to watch a drama that's really good, I was absolutely glued. Was a show called Glory.
Oh yeah, AC Wraith mentioned that.
Yeah, Glory. That's a really, 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 really good, like, how would you call it? Would you call it suspense? Call it suspense drama?
I've seen, again, Netflix keeps recommending this shit to me. So like Netflix knows good stuff.
Netflix knows you.
But yeah, it looks like a thriller. Isn't it like a
It's
girl?
not really a thriller. I
But
guess it is.
isn't she trying to like uncover something?
No.
Oh no, she's trying to get revenge, isn't she? It's a
Yes.
revenge story.
It's a revenge story.
There's
It's a
another
really good
one.
revenge story where she essentially puts her mind to dismantling the life of the girl who was the leader of a bunch of other people, other kids in high school who tortured her, not just tormented or bullied, who literally physically tortured her. And it's fabulous. It's delicious.
Okay.
Delicious.
Oh, what
I
was
couldn't sit through a lot of the flashbacks to the torture. It was too upsetting for me. But the revenge is
there's
gorgeous.
one that you might like because Netflix recommended it to me, so it keeps in this whole genre called Burn Down the House or Burning Down the House.
Burn Down the House is another one. I watched that right before I watched
Oh, really?
Glory. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Also another revenge story. Not quite as like cool and messed up, but still very good. It becomes kind of more of a whodunit.
Well, yeah, because the premise is this a rich person's house burns down and this servant, like a housekeeper, gets blamed for it and her life is ruined. And years later, her daughter becomes like a house servant in that same family's house, but they don't know who she is. And she's trying to find out who set the fire.
Actually, the rich person's house burns down and the wife thinks she burnt it down. And then there's a divorce, and the wife's dear friend, who was very, very poor, marries the
guy?
husband, the guy, and moves into the house, the rebuilt house. And essentially, the mother is the first wife and her two children, the man's two children, are essentially forced to live in poverty. And one of the daughters suspects that the woman who was the friend and who married her husband's second wife, and might have been the one that set the fire, and she wants to prove it.
Okay.
Oh, it's also really, really, really good.
Okay, I'll put that on my list. And you know what? Just for diversity's sake, I'll recommend Dark for a non-South Korean show. Dark is really, really good. It's
What's it about?
It's like a time travel German show. It takes place across 3 time periods.
Watched it. Oh God, long time ago. That's a long time
that's
ago.
an older show.
Yeah, we
and
watched it when it came out. Another good one that's also in there is a Norse one called
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
I
really good.
really want to start Money Heist. I've heard nothing but good things about Money Heist. It's like an international phenomenon for Netflix. Spanish show. So yeah, I would like to check out Money
I've
Heist.
seen it recommended to me, but I never actually watch it.
I love a good heist.
Heists. They're all right.
Okay, one thing I will
If
not
you haven't,
recommend.
by the way, any of you, if you haven't watched Dark, don't watch me tonight. Go watch Dark. So fucking good. So good. Oh my God. So good. If you're going to watch if you're watching a German show and you choose between how to make drugs, how to sell drugs online fast or Dark, go watch Dark. Watch Dark. So good.
Oh, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Then I forgot what it was.
I forgot what it was too. You started saying something and I forgot what you were about to say.
Oh,
heist interrupted.
Heist show. There's a heist show on Netflix called Kaleidoscope. Don't watch it.
Okay. I don't really watch heist movies that much. It's shows.
It's a really, really cool premise in that the idea is the episodes could be watched in any order. And I think Netflix would like randomize the first episode and the last episode will be the same, but the order of everything else will be randomized per Netflix account. And that's a really cool premise because like the show jumps back and forth through time to like after the heist, before the heist, 20 years before the heist, to kind of do this non-linear story of what's leading up to the heist, how does it go wrong, and things like that. Cool idea. But it's just it's so cliched, and the heist itself is so bad.
I really hate that.
So bad.
I really hate it. I hate when they're predictable, when especially with movies that have no right to be predictable.
It's not
It's
that
just lazy at that point.
it's not just that it's predictable, it's that it goes so over the top of like, oh, this safe is protected by a special scan that measures the gait of the person as they walk up to it. So we have to find a way to mimic his gait. And it's like, no.
Oh, there was another one. If you like heist movies, it was called the heist movie. Was it English?
The English?
It was three old ladies.
Uh Chun, AC Wraith, yes,
The Green Glove Gang. Green Glove Gang. If you like heist movies, heist shows, the Green Glove Gang.
is that Netflix or is that something else? Is that a movie?
Netflix. Netflix.
Oh.
No, it's a television show.
The Green Glove Game.
The Green Glove Gang. It is a TV series. I can't remember if they're. Oh yeah, it is. It is. I think Polish. So there's these gang of 3 noble thieves. They call themselves the Green Glove Gang. And they are in hiding after one of their they've been robbers since forever. And one of their robberies goes very wrong, and it looks like they're going to get caught. So they go on the run, and they decide to hide in a nursing home. But here's the thing: they're 3 women. They're 3 old ladies who have been the Green Glove Gang for decades. And one of their last heists fucks up. So they go into a nursing home to hide.
Okay.
And this nursing home is not all it seems.
Okay.
And they start to use their skills for good, not evil.
Hmm.
At the same time, trying to stay out of the way of the law.
Trying to avoid the police.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Chunderbox says if you really just want to watch a Korean show, there's also a Money Heist Korean spinoff
Oh,
called the Korea Joint Economic Area. And I will say, AC Wraith has said Nick is a dub guy. It's sad.
it is sad.
I'm a dub guy when it comes to anime. I will happily watch a movie subtitled because
Good.
a movie dubbed, you do get that kind of weird lip sync, but it's okay.
You get actually, I find that I find actually you get used to the dubs with I get used to the dubs much easier with movies, live action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I way prefer the dub for an anime show. If I have a choice between them, 100% of the time I will always watch the dub.
Yeah.
Because it just I want to look at the animation.
Mhm.
And I don't know, there's something about subtitles with live action that I feel flows easier.
Yeah, I get used to it. It depends. Some of them I will watch. Also, it depends on the quality of the translations. There's nothing more that I hate people of translations, the subtitles that move too quickly. And I'm a pretty fast reader, but I've had a number of times where they especially when it's a big blurt of sentences of words being said very, very fast and they need to get it out quickly and then somebody answers back. There's a limited amount of time that they could actually put that information down on the screen before they have to get to the next screen, before they have to go to the next screen. So it becomes like I have to stop and then read it through to find out what was said. I honestly would rather just have the dubs.
I think dubs are a lot harder for live action because there's kind of a what's that phantom zone for games, like when someone looks too real but not real enough and they look disturbing rather than realistic. It's like the Phantom Zone, the Uncanny Valley. There's an Uncanny Valley for dubs with live action because with live action, people move a lot. People make a lot of sounds. They sigh and they kind of do all these very subtle interactions that animation doesn't do. And so it's much easier to dub animation because you don't have all that constant movement and constant sound. It reminds me of Pixar. This one interview I read about Pixar a long time ago. They're like, man, 2D movies can get away with still images, right? If there's a quiet moment, and you see this in anime a lot, where there's just a still image on the screen for a number of seconds because someone is standing still. In the 3D movie, in a Pixar movie, if someone is standing still, they can't freeze that image because it's going for a little bit more realism, and you have to have someone you have to have them wobble, you have to have them move, you have to have them sway. You can't have that still image, and I think the same is with the voices. So dub works better in anime, in cartoons, because you can just dub over the voice and you don't need to worry about all the extra sound effects of like sighs and or like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's my defense of dubs.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we close this out?
Yeah, we have a lot of shows to watch, but come next week.
Yep. Well, we're not going to PAX next year. Next year we'll go to PAX.
Yeah. Is PAX
actually?
No, PAX is the
end of the month.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, end of the month. 2 weeks. So what are we gonna do for October? Because it's gonna be 4:00 in the morning when the show starts.
Oh, yeah, because you will be in Bali.
Yeah.
When would you like to shift the time?
Man, we're not shifting time. We're not. I'm not going to shift time on you just because I'm going on vacation. So we're gonna have to decide and how many weeks. How many weeks am I going to be out? Stand by.
Yeah.
I have to pull
and
up a calendar to look.
Are you going to be playing games in Bali? Are you going to bring a Steam Deck and do something?
No, I'm definitely not bringing a Steam Deck to Bali. I might bring a Steam Deck to Bali, but probably not. But we will have a show on the 1st of October. And the next show we will have will be the 5th of November. So I am going to be out the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So we're going to have 4 weeks without a show.
Okay, maybe I'll try to stream something then. Maybe I'll try to stream some Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake. Oh,
yeah,
that's October. I could stream a bunch of horror games.
Yeah, you could have or just hang out with everybody. Or maybe if one of you guys want to be sit in my chair for a couple of weeks, Nick can run the show without me, and then I can wake up at 4:00 in the morning and call in and say hi and then leave because there's no way I might wake up at 4:00 in the morning to say hi. I am not waking up at 4:00 in the morning to have Nick talk about Mocha Choca bullshit. Oh, one more thing, Nick, it's 6:30 in the morning. I have been up since 4. No, one more thing. I think this is adorable, hilarious. No, I'm not going to do that.
No. Look, I want to talk about the Batman Arkham Knight trilogy on Switch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna. I take no chances with that because Nick's exactly the bullshit that Nick would play on me.
No, what you do, you'll call up at 4, be like, "Hi, it's me," and then I'll say something like, "Edie." No, Edie, are you there?
Sorry, I'm look there, Nick.
You'll fall asleep. You'll fall asleep, but you won't hang up. And so, Edie, are you there? Are you there? Edie, do you have long distance calling? What's going on? And so for the next 3-hour podcast, you will just be on snoring.
That's right. That's what you'll hear. No, I'm If one of you wants to sit in, ever wanted to just sit and hang out and talk about games, it's all of the hard work is done for you. It's Nick knows how to run the show. It's super easy to do. All you got to do is get a headset. Nick can figure it out. And yeah, you could be me for 2 weeks. You could never be me.
No. They could
3
be
weeks,
me.
4 weeks.
They could be me, and then I'll be you.
Oh yeah. Anybody want to get on and torture Nick the way that Nick has tortured me for the last 13 years? Here's your opportunity.
Who wants to start the show singing fuck?
Yeah, who wants to do that for Nick?
You say that like I'll stop the show. Like you said, like I won't join in and be the background singer.
Playing the tambourine for the fuck song.
Look, they do the fucks, I sing the shits.
AC Ray says, of course, Nick will be reading our news articles, so we won't have anything. That's true. Oh, that would be really interesting. Is you guys wouldn't upload Nick stuff to Nick and let him cheat.
I could look up.
Sometimes Nick has to learn how to appreciate you a little bit more. You notice that? He doesn't really give you credit. And the thing is you know, and I know you deserve a lot of the credit for the stuff that he does.
Do you want me to give credit? I can check the Discord.
You should always give credit when someone brings you an article.
Okay, let's see. AC Wraith has the story about Sea of Stars coming everywhere. Where was it? He also had the story about Kai causing a riot.
Really? You didn't even get that on your news feed? That was all over my freaking news feed.
I saw that, but I'm giving credit where people submit. He also had a story about the deadline. No, about the Marvel Studios unionizing. Ezio Helsing had a story about Lance Reddick and what was this other one? What was the other one he had?
So in other words, you didn't do any research at all. 100% of your stories were stories taken from other people that were other people brought to you. The community brought to you.
I brought, let's go back to the news and let's see.
I can't believe I just extended my own show.
Lords of the Fallen previews. I brought that one. Overwatch 2 being review bombed. Potential PS5 images leaked.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm bringing my stories.
Well, if you're interested in that, send me a message. You can either do it through
this as we go through like the credits. This is the credits of the show. You got the chat bot up. Now you need to get credit bot.
Credit bot?
Yeah.
Just press play now. I should.
Can we get Nightbot to be like, you press A and it says thanks to AC Wraith for this story, and we press like B and it says thanks to Ezio Helsing for this story. C, thanks to Chunderbox for this story.
Oh God. Anyway, can we close this out so I can go to the pharmacy and pick up my drugs because I'm completely out?
Yes.
And you want me on drugs tomorrow? All right. So on that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 688. We did record this on August 13th, 2023. I'm Edie Sellers, and with me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and on Twitch. On YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids, VIDS is in videos. On Twitch, we are the GameHounds. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat room who joined us at Chunderbox, and especially those of you who was watching on Twitch, so that you could be part of the chat bot. I was not sure I could get it working. Seems to be sort of working. I think we can make some improvements, but thank you very much for being part of the experiment. Chunderbox, AC Wraith, SEO Helsing. I think there were a couple other people earlier on. So thank you for being here, and we will talk to you next week. Also, thank you to our patrons. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have the show. We are 100% Patreon funded. $1 a month is all we ask to help cover the costs for subscriptions and some of the software that we need, software fees that we have to pay in order to keep this going. Also, if you'd like to join us on our Discord, please feel free. We would love to have you on a Discord. In fact, if you are interested in being my Nick's co-host for a month in October, the longest I will have ever been away from the show, all you have to do is send me a message in our Discord server. Our Discord server information for it can be found just about anywhere, but in case you can't find it anywhere, let me throw it down here, right there. See that link? Go to that link. That'll get you to our Discord server. We'd love to have you there. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Okay. Now, everybody else, I'm going to go because I got to go pick up my stuff. Nick, I will talk to you later on tonight. And yes, I will be playing the last little bit of Killer Frequency. Gonna hit a barbecue, walk my dogs, and choke down some food, and we will be all on it. So it's probably about 7 my time. So I hope you're all there. Love to have you there. It's going to be on Twitch. So join me here. And Nick, are you going to be around so you can watch how it ends?
Maybe. Depends on what we do for dinner.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know. You can always send a message.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient and waiting for us to get done. And thank you for being understanding about my technical difficulties. I'm really not looking forward to tearing up my desk for a headset or for a soundboard.
What do people think of the new chatbot?
Yeah. Let me know. Send a message in the Discord. Let me know what you think about the chatbot. Join Edie tonight on Twitch. Yes, please do join me. All right. Talk to everyone later.